And now, direct from BCI Broadcasting in beautiful uptown Peoria, live, it's Face the Foundation. And here's your host, Jeff Random.
You guys lucked out today. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Face the Foundation, the program guaranteed to inform and provide the latest analysis on the top issues of your Peoria North Foundation. We have a lot to get to today, so let's get started. We'll begin with a brief history. This will be given by Dr. Thomas Power, past president of the International Library of Conversation. Tom?
Really? Oh, okay. Thank you, Jeff. Mr. Random. The formation of the foundation began in 1997 when Ed Siebert, who now has the name as the recipients, contribute to this foundation. A member of our club, Ed Siebert, contacted Jim Tomlin, who is still a member of this club. I just checked, he's not here today, but he's a grand guy. Just proud to have him be part of things still. To encourage the formation, Siebert and Tomlin, our own foundation, to more effectively support local philanthropic projects. 1 year later, it was formally incorporated as a tax-exempt 501c3 foundation, and the first meeting was held in January of 1999. The annual appeal, we're all familiar with, which helps to fund community support grants, adopt a school programs, youth programs such as RILA, Interact, Rotary, Sterling Merit, and the Service Above Self Awards began in 2005. The foundation operates under a constitution, bylaws, and a mission and objectives statement. It's governed by officers and directors who are members of the club and report to the club board. All members of the Rotary Club of Peoria North are members of the foundation.
Thank you, Dr. Power. I would now like to introduce you to the remaining panelists speaking here today with us. Each is an expert in their own fields. First, Dr. Katie Ruler, Business Development Director for the U.S. Division of Measurement Standards, who will speak on the mission and purpose of the foundation, its objectives and key initiatives. Our second panelist, Dr. Kelly Evans, President and COO of the Roy Rogers National Hall of Fame, will elaborate on the foundation's checking account, its sources and how it's used, and the endowment accounts. Our next two panelists, Dr. John Miser, Chairman of the Board of United Way, and Dr. Heather Longfellow, Controller of the Dead Poets Society, will speak on where the monies go. And lastly, Dr. Greg Rapid, CEO of the Car Washers Association of America and the Rapid Fire Employment Agency, who will elaborate on the foundation's financial performance, and round it out by entrepreneur and Dean of the University of Technical Tools, Tunes, and Techniques, Dr. Jeffrey Allen Wrench. Dr. Allen Wrench will address the ultimate question, why give? There will be time after for the presentations for questions, and hold on for those. So let's get going. Dr. Ruler. Katie?
Thank you, Jeff. The mission and purpose of the Peoria North Foundation is to acquire, manage, and invest such assets as may be periodically donated or bequeathed to support the charitable activities of the club. These activities may include, but are not limited to, providing support to qualified 501c3 organizations in the greater Peoria area, providing educational scholarships for post-secondary courses of study at accredited colleges, universities, and Trader Technical Schools, supporting other charitable initiatives of the club, and assisting in raising funds to achieve Peoria North community support objectives through contributions from club fundraising activities. These include the annual appeal, the boot, scooter button, and raffle. And finally, to manage the assets of the foundation in accordance with its investment policy, the key initiatives are to provide post-secondary financial assistance targeting Interact and Rotary students, to market and promote the benefit of permanently endowed funds, to develop a planned giving campaign to increase the number of these funds, and to administer an appropriate financial management strategy for the assets of the foundation. The foundation board will review the investment portfolio semi-annually to discuss performance and potential changes with the independent advisor.
Thank you, Dr. Ruler. And now it's time, we need to take a short break. Don't go away. We will be right back.
Do you have a wish? See a need in your community that needs help, or even worldwide? Well, wish away and download the Foundation Fundamental Financial Funding app. Grants can materialize when you follow the guidelines spelled out in this easy-to-follow step-by-step guide. Have a wish. Share it with others. Write it down. Present it to those who can help. Your Peoria North Foundation.
We're back. The next item on the agenda concerns our foundation's checking and endowment accounts. Dr. Evans.
Thank you, Jeff. Our foundation checking is a pass-through account and comes from the monies raised through the annual appeal, the boot, the scooter, the raffle, and general donations. It's used to support our club programs, which include literacy, adopt a school, Sterling Merit, community support grants, Interact, Rotaract, local projects like planting trees and others. A pass-through account is one in which the funds are temporarily deposited and then dispersed back out, in this case, back out into the community. The Peoria North checking account is also a pass-through account and comes from the meals, dues, initiation fees, and it's used for club operating funds. The endowment accounts of the foundation are the Lamoureux Endowment Fund, the Education Endowment Fund, and the Community Endowment Fund, as well as the unrestricted account. The Lamoureux Endowment Fund was named the Robert J. Lamoureux Endowed Scholarship Fund in 2007 to provide scholarship assistance for programs administered by the club. The Education Endowment is another restricted fund for scholarships and educational related activities, causes, and events. Funds for this account come not only from the original endowment, but also from bequests and other general donations. The third endowment fund is the Community Endowment Fund and is used for activities with the emphasis on local community projects. The source of this funding is the Ed Siebert Fellow Award and was established in 2017. The final endowment account is the unrestricted account and is used as directed by the club board. It was created by the signature event in the 2006-2007 Rotary year, which was held to raise scholarship funds for the then Peoria Alternative High School. We now use this fund for a broad range of projects and causes.
Thank you, Dr. Evans. Very enlightening. Okay, so what has the Peoria North Foundation done to help our community and what organizations have benefited? Dr. Alana Fellow, please update.
All right. Our foundation has a pretty amazing track record. You probably all remember the recent gift to the Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired of $12,700. We also recently gave $6,000 to Peoria Public Schools for their water stations. So those were pretty great. Other organizations we've provided for in just the past few years include PRLC, $19,000, the Elise Ford Allen Academy, $13,000, not to mention the Holt Center for Healthy Living, Family Corps, Heart of Illinois Harvest, and Park Creation. The foundation grants scholarships amounting to more than $10,000 to Interact and Rotaract students each year. And in the past few years, we've given community support grants to the East Bluff Community Center, Sophie's Kitchen, Wildlife Prairie Park, Junior Achievement, the Christian Center, Girl Scouts, Family Corps, and the Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Our foundation has supported the Rotary International Shelter Box Project, and we've also supported Stove Team, a group that works with other nonprofits and Rotary clubs to assist communities in Central America with the production and placement of fuel-efficient cook stoves. And just so you know, Jeff, our board is on board for the next request.
Thank you very much, Dr. Longfellow. Back to those scholarships. Just how many scholarships, Sterling Merit, and Service Above Self awards has the foundation given? Dr. Miser, take it away.
You know I can tell you exactly what that is. I can handle that. Well, the Peoria North Foundation has a pretty remarkable record of granting scholarships to our qualified students. In fact, they're currently looking at trade scholarships at ICC. Stay tuned because there's more. But I digress. Let's take a look at the screen here. See my little thing there. Okay, watch that screen. As far as scholarships are concerned, and the esteemed, or should I say extinguished, Dr. Longfellow just mentioned, the foundation has funded Interact and Rotaract students at $10,000 per year. So over the last 5 years, that comes up to $50,000 that's been awarded to local students. $6,000 per year has gone to the Sterling Merit Banquet. RILA have at $1,000 a year, and Service Above Self at $2,750 a year, which equates to, can you help me with this? $48,750 in the past 5 years. And that's if I do my math correctly, Tim. I'm not 35, but I will be soon. And the scooter money at $1,200 a year, the weekly raffle around $6,000 a year, and community support grants at about 12 grand. You come up with about $67,200 over the past 5 years. And don't forget about the boot up there, Jeff. And add it all together, that's pretty darn amazing if you ask me.
Amazing indeed. Thank you, Dr. Miser. That report was just perfect. Now it's time for another break. Don't leave us, folks.
Sick of selling, tired of yelling, just too many ways to help these days.
No more cheese, no more please. Butter breads, no thank you ma'am. Popcorn candy, no way I can.
One more task, one more ask, it never stops, it never ends. Give me a break, I'm begging, friends.
But I want to help, and of course I can. A one-time ask, now that's a plan.
It's time for giving, help the living. The annual appeal, yes, that's the way to give just once and make my day.
It's coming soon, and really counts. Give what you can in any amounts. Word.
Word.
Okay, there. Okay, we're back. Our next panelist will provide an overview of the foundation's finances. Dr. Rappert.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Random. Appreciate that. So our financial review, we've all touched on these accounts today, but just let me go through them with you a little bit again. The Lamro Endowment Fund, that's where a lot of these scholarship money comes that John and his crew have been handing out recently. That started with $100,000 in 2007. And then we all know what happened in 2008, 2009. We rode that down to about $94,000. But look what's happened. There's the time value of investing, right, Mr. Hawks? Amazing, right? And that just lets us do more and more. The Education Endowment Fund, $255,980. That's our big account. We can do lots of good work with that. The Community Endowment Fund started in 2017. And we've been bestowed the latest one to Jim Wetzel. That's only 6 years, not quite 7 years in the making. We're almost up to $71,000, and that's a nice job, everyone. And lastly, the unrestricted account. Who knows what an unrestricted account is? You can do whatever you want with it, right? The endowment accounts were limited. Okay, you've got it's by the nature of endowment. You've got the principal and then the growth, but we can spin off funds from those accounts. The unrestricted one, it's unrestricted. We've got more flexibility and latitude with that. So President Jason, President-elect Ashley, as we unfold the next big project, whatever that might be, we've got a little stash. can't say we're gonna use all that, but we can do some good stuff. So stay tuned for that. The disbursements in this account are made by the club board. Some of it's suggested by us, the foundation board. We manage the money, but we do put some ideas together. If any of you would like to join this collegial band of do-gooders up here, we would love to have you. A few of us need to roll off of this ship at some point. You've seen a few of us for far too many years, so we would be very interested in talking to any of you that have an interest in the foundation, learning more about it, learning how we accumulate the funds, learning how we disperse the funds. And you've heard me say before, and I know a lot of it, we've done a great job here. We've been great stewards of the money. We need to do a little bit better in the disbursement of the funds. And you're starting to see that from all the things that were talked about today. So stay tuned, more to come on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rapid. What an impressive report. And those balances are staggering. We're doing good things. All right, our final panelist will answer the question of why it is important to grow the foundation and what you can do to help. Dr. Allen Rinch.
Thanks, Jeff. As you can see, we are in pretty good shape financially, so why grow the foundation? Certainly to continue the scholarships and student programs and to increase those scholarship amounts, also to increase our funding of worthy community projects, as reported by Dr. Longfellow. As you've already heard, there are many ways to donate to the foundation through the annual appeal, the boot, the raffle, the scooter, bequest and memorials, and the Ed Siebert Fellow. Each club member in attendance supports the foundation in ways they are often unaware of, and it's our goal to make them more aware of their giving and purposely supporting it through donations, bequests, and the consideration of becoming an Ed Siebert Fellow. Your donation can actually be targeted to scholarships, literacy, community support, anything you choose. It is the ultimate goal of the foundation to grow enough that the annual appeal can be done away with altogether. Imagine that, if you will.
Wouldn't that be something? Thank you, Dr. Allen Rinch, for your insight. Hopefully the audience will consider your request. Well, that concludes today's program. Thankfully for some, maybe. We are open for questions for the panel. Any questions? Andre.
No, I will not do your next children's birthday.
Thank you, guys. That was entertaining and educational. I had a question about the Ed Siebert Fellowships, the fund that money goes into. I'm curious as to what the plans may be for using that money, when we might use it, what it could be used for, things like that.
Thanks, Andre. That's a good question. We started that thing, just a little history. This was kind of interesting. The club board challenged the foundation board back in 2015, 2016, said, let's take this to the next level. Let's come up with some ideas. What can we do to increase our endowment and our ability to give in the future? So we brainstormed under Carol Halton's leadership, several other people, Jay McCormick, Dick Marshall, a lot of us, and just thought, what can we do? We do a lot of things internationally. We're doing great things everywhere. And we thought, well, there's a lot of need in our community. Maybe we'll center this around a community foundation. We thought of Ed Siebert for the reasons you've heard today, to name the award after him. But it's not restricted in the sense for education or scholarships. It's a pretty open, but it has a local flair. Okay, so the problem is it's an endowment, so it's not as big as their account. So the earnings aren't as large right now. We hope to continue to grow that, but we are open. We're probably getting close to the point we could probably start spinning a little bit of it off. However, we have access to a lot of other funds, play unrestricted account for more immediate needs. So we'd like to probably continue to grow the community endowment, but it's open. We worded the verbiage. It's very wide, very broad. You name it, it's probably on there, but just with a local flair. So it's really not, it's unrestricted in that sense that it can identify a lot of different needs. Does that help? Or
do you want that fund to get to a certain amount before you start drawing from it?
Well, right now, if we were to tap into that fund and use the industry standard, it would be about $2,500. So if we have the right project, it is open to be used now. But if we want to wait and let it grow, we could do that as well. So it's something that where it's not defined at this point of when we'll use it. But if the right piece comes together for something local, it is available. So really on all of the funds, we have a lot of opportunity and there's not a timeline. So if there's something now, we can do it. If there's something later, we can wait. So there's a lot of flexibility. But with that one, industry standard would be about $2,500 right now, because we don't ever touch the principal. We only touch a percentage and look at what the earnings are. So, the numbers up there are pretty impressive, but the amount we have access to doesn't reflect exactly what that looks like.
Do other clubs have foundations?
Yeah, a few do, but we are, this was something that most clubs do not have. And especially when we started ours, most did not, at least in our district. Yes, downtown does not. They use the community foundation for their foundation.
In the unrestricted, the $2,500, if you had a local project be selected for that, is it possible that that same organization could get funds in the future?
Yeah, there's no restriction on that.
Feel like I'm running through O'Hare Airport like it was last night.
So as I usually ask questions, I always say thank you, speakers, for being here. Couple of comments. One, whoever wrote this did a great job.
Lynn Coleman.
I didn't know she had that talent, but amazing. And then the other thing I noticed was, I think that's over $500,000 that we have. That's amazing. That's just amazing. So congrats.
Thank you all for all of your donations. And Katie put together all the slides and so yeah, so thank you so much.
So I'm not a numbers person. Why would I want to join the board and how could I help if I'm not in finance?
I can talk about that. Okay.
Come on up.
I know nothing about finance except for how to add and subtract. But I do know about the community and what kind of needs might be. I know how to talk to the other members of the club and report back to the board. I know how to ask questions when we're making decisions to think differently about how we're spending the money or what we're going to use it for. So we do definitely need people who understand the fancy finance words and all of that and what it means. And so we can make those decisions, but we also need people who are interested in the function of the money and how we're going to get it dispersed out to the community. So.
Excellent question. Excellent.